Welcome back, everybody. 14 after the hour, and time for us to go behind the headlines. And as we reported yesterday and Wednesday, we told you of the shocking case in New Mexico that's gaining a lot of national attention. David Eckert, who was stopped by police for running a stop sign in a Walmart parking lot of all places, was suspected of possessing drugs by a Deming, New Mexico city police officer. Eckert consented to a search of his vehicle. Folks, don't ever do that. But he consented to a search of his vehicle, and a police dog named Leo alerted to the smell of narcotics at the driver's compartment. The canine's handler told the Deming officer that Eckert had a history of drug possession and smuggling by hiding narcotics in his rectum. Based on the drug dog alert, the canine handler's tip, and the officer's observation that Eckert appeared nervous and was clenching his buttocks, the officer sought and received a search warrant for Eckert's person. The ensuing ordeal for Eckert's consisted of a transfer to a hospital where he was subject to at least 12 hours of invasive searches and medical procedures, including 2 manual probes of his anus, 2 x-rays, 3 enemas, and a colonoscopy. No drugs were ever found in or on Eckert or in his car. Eckert filed a federal lawsuit against the cops, judges, and doctors involved, claiming that in addition to the humiliation and pain that he suffered, the warrant was invalid for the county in which the procedures were carried out and the time for which he was probed, and that the judge granted the warrant did so on essentially an anonymous tip, and the canine dog hadn't been certified since 2011. Now, shortly after this story broke, word in this time, Timothy Young made a turn without signaling. Police pulled him over, suspected him of carrying drugs, and brought in the same uncertified canine, which alerted to the smell of narcotics. Young was taken to the same hospital as Eckert and subjected to some of the same procedures, including manual anal probes and x-rays. And just like Eckert's warrant, Young's warrant was only valid in the county he was arrested in, not the county where the hospital was located. Now, a third victim, a woman who wishes to remain anonymous, has come forward to report her sexual assault, this time by members of the Customs and Border Patrol, as she crossed the New Mexico border to and asked to spread her genitalia and cough. Female agents performed manual probes of anus and vagina. When no drugs were found, she was taken to the El Paso University Medical Center, and she was forced to defecate in front of medical staff. Then came the x-ray, another cavity search of vagina and anus, which in the hospital notes were bimanual. That means two-handed. And topped off with CAT scan. And still, no drugs were found. Now, the shocking part about these stories, and as shocking as they are, the terrifying part is that in all 3 cases, the cops just might get away with it. Despite the violation of the time and location requirements in Young cases, on the warrants that were issued, courts often give great latitude to police if their actions are determined to be in good faith. And in the woman's case, she's dealing with the federal Border Patrol officials who are given far greater latitude to conduct searches for drugs. And unfortunately, all of them, as the New York Times reported, the U.S. Supreme Court in April of 2012 decided with a 5-4 majority that, quote, officials may strip search people arrested for any offense, however minor, before admitting them to jails, even if the officials have no reason to suspect the presence of contraband. This decision affirmed the decisions of lower courts that held people may be strip searched after arrest for violating a leash law, driving without a license, failing to pay child support, driving with a noisy muffler, failing to use a turn signal, victim all folks, where the Fourth Amendment has been shredded in the war, and we won't have much more of it to last us much longer. All right, folks, that time means 4:20 here in the Mountain Time Zone.
Oh, have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. Have you ever met that funny reefer man? A reefer man. If he said he swam to China, he would sell you South Carolina.